celebrate. Wanna see it at the table, wanna act like they grateful. Don't mess with outsiders, y'all looking real unstable. If anything, they should ask me how I do it. Start taking notes, recording my every movement. I know that I'm the best and I ain't gotta.
What's good, everyone? It is Kendel Bell, aka KB. I am coming. Huh? Okay. I'm like very much in love with the buttons here. I'm like a kid. I will sit here and press buttons and see what they do all day. But I am here today with my guest co-host, Rashid Jordan.
Hi.
He is. Oh, we're clapping for him. So there you go. He is a local artist, a musician, and let's have him just tell us a little bit about himself right now and what he does.
So, yes, my name is Rashid Jordan. Can you hear me okay? Yeah. So, yeah, I'm a local artist and musician and audio technician. So those are the main things that I pretty much do. Yeah, that's pretty much it.
Cool.
Thus far. Yeah.
Okay. So do you have any music released?
Yes, I do. So I have, I want to say like 4 or 5 songs released out there. That I all fully produce myself, and I guess I would like kind of hate to categorize, but I kind of aim for like mindfulness pop. That's the sound.
Yeah.
That's the thing that I've created that I think that I like. And I'm venturing out to like different kind of sounds, like neo soul, like more dance type of stuff. So yeah, like pop funk, So
yeah. That's awesome.
Mhm.
So, what have been your most recent releases?
The most recent one is titled Beautiful Satisfaction. So it's like a spin on my like own work. So like my first song that I released was called A Beautiful Disappointment. And it was like more slower, the orchestral intro, kind of epic, like very heartfelt. This one's more like riding the waves and kind of like same chord progression, but a twist. It's a beautiful satisfaction.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
that's awesome. So it sounds poetic. It sounds like maybe you went through some stuff and then you've seen things come full circle. Am I right to say that? Or
well, I feel like we're like always kind of going through something. Like the journeys that we're all on are really a journey with no destination.
Right.
So I guess I'm still like learning and still growing and creating, obviously. But yeah, like you really never are really disappointed or satisfied, technically, because it's going to change.
So tell me a little bit more what you mean by that.
Just everything is just always ever changing. Like everything, like you can't hold on to anything. Like,
so basically you're saying any like feeling is momentary, or
in a sense, yeah.
Okay.
And I'm also saying like be playful with life, like if you go through a disappointment, call it a beautiful disappointment. That disappointment can be beautiful in so many different profound, inexplicable ways that we don't understand and in the moment of disappointment.
Right. And the thing is, those are the moments, the disappointments, if we don't give up, those are the moments that lead us to grow into something beautiful.
Yeah.
So
agreed. Yeah, that's a great way to put it too. And same with satisfaction, not even just the quote unquote negative things, like with the good things too. Like let's not identify with these good moments or these moments of success. Let's like look at it for what it is, enjoy it, celebrate it, and then step back. Because are we that success? Are we, like that's not us,
right?
So yeah, that's kind of what I mean.
Interesting. I feel like there's a lot of philosophy that's behind Rashid Jordan. Am I right to say that?
Yeah. I think like everything can kind of be abstractly conceptualized. everything we do, every choice, every action, every thought, it could be. It doesn't have to be, but it can be. There's a possibility for that. So, you know, I'm young. I'm only 22. So, like, I don't know anything. That's what I'm starting to realize as I get older and I'm getting into, like, adulthood. I'm just like, you know, I really don't know much.
And you know what? And that's the sign of a wise person, when you realize that you don't know nothing compared to everything that there is to know. You know? And the thing is, the dumbest people be the ones that think they know everything.
Yeah, so. that's definitely true.
Yeah.
I think I'm starting to, like, do more of, like, instead of, like, oh, I want to learn something new today. Like, I'm going to, like, the best way to learn is, like, looking at what you don't know, I feel like, and just not acting like the smartest guy. So,
exactly.
Like, I'd rather, like, leave with the takeaway of the day, like, wow, I didn't know this. Not like, oh, I know this now. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's just, yeah, so.
Very interesting. So, did you grow up in Milwaukee? Are you from here?
Yes, I did grow up in Milwaukee. I grew up in, like, what's that area called? Sherman Park area.
Okay.
Basically. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sherman Park area. Like, that whole strip all the way up to Tulsa is, like, Sherman Park. Not really. No, because it's like another Washington Heights, right?
Oh, yeah, you're right.
Yep, Sherman
Washington
Park. So
Heights.
I kind of grew up in that area, the Washington Heights area. Yeah.
Okay. So what was it like for you growing up there? Did you enjoy it?
Yeah, it was really nice. Cool. Always bustling. Businesses are changing. Like over the years, I've seen, like, a lot of different businesses, and some of the same businesses that have been there since I was a kid are still there. So that's cool.
That's awesome.
Now North Avenue Market is there, which is something that I also got to, like, see, like, be built, and, you know, it's pretty cool. It's popping right now.
Okay.
So yeah.
Cool. Do you have a favorite song of yours?
A favorite song?
Yes.
I have favorite songs.
Okay.
I have, like, 3. I can name 3 favorite songs.
Okay, go ahead and name them.
It's kind of old, but I really like the Childish Gambino Redbone song. It's so good.
Oh, yeah.
It's so good.
That one's a classic. It was an instant classic.
Yeah.
It's never gonna get old.
Yeah, and it's literally a timeless classic.
It really is.
Know? So that's one that I really like. I've just been into funk lately.
Okay.
So, like, James Brown, People Get Up and Drive Your Funky Soul. Like, that's the name of the song. Such a big name. It's 9 minutes long.
Yeah, that's long.
And it's just
my
like,
ADD can't do it. Like, I'll be jamming for like 5 minutes, and then after that, I'm like, okay.
Yeah,
but,
right.
Like, does it? I can't remember that song too well. Does it, like, change up at the end, or is it kind of like the same?
It's pretty consistent. You know, there's some. It's James Brown. It's pretty good. Yeah, like he's just like trumpets.
Watch
yeah. But what I like about this one is that he's like, it's the same thing, right? Like, people get yourself together, drive that funky soul. But he's saying, like, Leo, get yourself together, or like Aquarius, get yourself. Like, he's going through the zodiacs, and he's going through the cities.
And is he saying how each sign needs to each sign need to do to get themselves together?
A little bit. He's altering.
So he's reading everybody. Like,
listen,
he's get it together,
right? And that's what, like, makes it so clever to me, because it's like you're touching everybody, you're reaching out to everybody, and a lot of Motown and that era. Like, I don't think James Brown was Motown, but that era of, like, Motown, the Motown era was really, really trying to get people to drive their funky soul. You know,
that's true.
Yeah, that's the second song, and then a third one I think would be funk. I actually guess I got 2 songs for you.
Okay.
I can't think of the third one right now.
So. Okay. Well, we'll take it. Take it. Do you have a favorite song that you personally have written or recorded or released?
Yeah, I do. I feel like all of them are my favorites in some weird way.
That's because they're your babies.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Like, I favor them differently, you know, so, and for different reasons.
Right.
But one that I really, I feel like it was not my best work. It was the first song I made like in my little studio, and it was the Beautiful Disappointment one. And that was like, it just took the title, the song like gathered and gained so much meaning like after it was made and after I like forgot about it and I remembered it, because I'm like, even though it's not my best work, it's beautiful and it's not bad. You know what I mean? So I'm like, yeah, so I think that would be like my favorite song. But I got like unreleased stuff too that is just a different type of genre, very more instrumental, orchestral, film scorey kind of sounding.
Okay.
So I got some stuff that I like that I make.
Okay. So I know you play instruments as well. Yeah. So tell us about that.
So I play piano. I've been playing piano since it's like 11, but I never like learned officially. I took some classes in college. But yeah, so I have a good ear, so I can hear something and I can play it basically. And that's pretty much how I play. Cool. And then drums, I got into playing drums actually with a broken ankle that I was talking to you about earlier.
Yeah.
So I was like learning how to play drums with the broken ankle. So I'm like playing like with one foot. So that was like an interesting experience because I like played for some people like that came to the place I worked at the time. And yeah, I think I got some pretty good rhythm, but I got to relearn how to play the drums like the right way. Use both feet, instead of just switching that one foot around. So, yeah.
So you're still in school as well, right?
Yeah, I am.
So what are you in school for?
I'm studying audio production.
Okay. How's that going?
It's going pretty good. I think I should be done. Let's say next year. Mid next year. I think I should be done. Seriously though. Okay. It's just a lot of work because like I'm in the field of work that I'm studying. So like creating a work study balance is the thing that I'm really focused on doing. So when I go back this summer or this fall, I'm going to be like taking a little less classes and focusing more on like just the balance, not focusing on either or, like not focusing on either or, but not focusing too much on either or. Like creating the balance of focusing enough on school, my personal self, my personal health, and like my career too, and then also my creative, career as well. So
yeah. As a creative, I feel like we have at least 2 jobs all the time. Yeah. If you're a creative who's not yet at a point to be able to get like to make an actual living off of your craft,
right?
Like we really do work at least 2 jobs.
Yeah. So yeah, it's a lot. And the age that we live in now, like with the age that I grew up in, like, it's like the technology, like social media and stuff like that. It's just like you don't want to put too much work into social media and lose the why of what started you into, this
exactly
whatever art form that you create.
Right. And I feel like social media can also be a little bit discouraging sometimes, because I know a lot of artists like freak out about the algorithm. Yeah. And it does feel like the algorithm works against us if you're not actually paying to advertise yourself. Yeah. So, is that something that ever gets you caught up on, or that you have in the past got caught up on?
Yeah. So like, I feel like I follow like different strategies to release different songs. Like I haven't released many songs. But with the songs that I've released, like I follow a pretty good strategy, I would like to think, with content and give myself enough time to create content. But things happen though, and they don't like, nobody's there to like guide you and tell you that, hey, things are going to happen. You're going to get busy with life, or you're not going to be able to create like content sometimes, or just stuff happens. Exactly. It really does. And when you're doing this and you have people watching you do this, however many, like 100 people or 100,000 people watching you create, it can get overwhelming, and life can still happen if you don't have like people in this place and you're paying them to like uphold this, like you said earlier, it is a second job. So
right. Right.
I definitely run into that. To answer your question, like I've definitely run into that like barrier. Like, hold on, like maybe it's okay to also like step back. Like maybe I need to step back
Absolutely.
and like hone in on my craft a little more.
There is absolutely nothing wrong with taking breaks. And I've done that. I've taken like 2 years off from when I first started.
Yeah.
And then once I got back into it, I like decided, okay, I'm going to actually really go for it, because why am I doing this otherwise, you know?
Right.
So, but there's nothing wrong with taking time to step back, get yourself together a little bit. I guess re-strategize as well.
Yeah. Go back to the drawing board.
Yeah, work on your craft, because I can tell you, I know in that like 2 years that I didn't really release music, I know that I've got better at both the business side and like my actual skill level of like singing and rapping and whatever and writing. So yeah, take those steps back when you need to. But the thing is, just don't ever completely stop.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, like do something creative or something that's going to nourish it.
And there's so many different things to nerd. Like I forget that. Like us having this conversation right now, I'm realizing like if you're feeling uninspired, like there's things to do, live life. Like,
absolutely.
but there's like other art forms to like intrigue yourself with that you could that could inspire what you create next.
Right.
Like you can read an excerpt from a single book, a quote. You can have a conversation with somebody, and it can change the way you think. It can almost create a whole new neural pathway into what you're going to like create next, if that makes sense.
No, it absolutely does. Like even just simple things like movies.
Yeah.
I know people who are huge like movie fans, specifically like a producer, a friend of mine, who will watch movies to get inspired to make beats. So there's just really all art forms are really interconnected, and you can like gather inspiration from anywhere and from anyone if you have these conversations. So,
and like you said, it's simple too. Like even just like so another thing that I'm into is like mindfulness, right? So like another thing that you can like do is just like take a breath,
right?
Like go outside and just take one deep breath.
Exactly.
And you're like, whoa, you know,
meditate or something.
A conscious breath.
Exactly. And that's something I've been trying to do for myself. I'll like go for walks by the lake. And I know like part of practicing mindfulness is like being aware of your surroundings. I'll watch the seagulls looking for fish and fighting. I'll watch the little goose family. I'll watch the kids having fun playing, running down the pier. Like, you know, even just the things that are inspirational to life. Like even just the way the water moves and sounds. Like,
yeah. And it's like bringing out that childlike nature that I'm sure most people who create something, that's the time that it came from.
Exactly.
Is, you know, when you were a child or something. So when you're doing those things, like you're bringing that childlike spirit back out, you know, and nurturing it almost.
Right. Yeah. So it's like, yeah, you're right. We basically, as artists, are nurturing our inner child. I have a theory. I feel like a lot of artists didn't learn to like emotionally regulate in younger days. And I feel like now a lot of us are raising ourselves through our craft and using it as an outlet, using it as the voice that we never had. So,
is that the applause button right
here? The applause?
Yeah. Is that the clap?
That's there you go. Yeah.
So it's like we are like raising ourselves like through our art, you know, through through our art and our interactions up into the, because most artists identify as an artist. Like I am a creator, you know what I mean? So it's through everything. It's through your experience that we're like nurturing ourselves, but like also nurturing that you know,
like our inner child.
Exactly. Yeah, that's the word. Yeah. So it's a clever way to look at it. Yeah, but what do you think? Like, so how do you think that concept like applies to like your like creation, if you don't mind me asking?
That's fine. To be honest, I will say this very openly. I'm a very emotional person. So really my music is my feelings. It's where I'm at in the moment, and it helps me to get through it, and then it helps me to be able to just know that it's there.
Yeah.
And I can move on. And then the thing is, it's really cool to go back in time and listen to your music and listen to the progression, and you can even hear like where you were at certain points in life.
Right.
And I think that's so cool and so crazy. Wow. And it's like you can hear your own growth through your own voice. And that's awesome to me.
Yeah, that's amazing. That's beautiful.
Thank you.
So it's more like therapeutic.
Exactly.
For you.
Yeah,
right?
Exactly. That's really why I started doing it, just because it was therapeutic. And don't get me wrong, I absolutely loved music from day one.
Yeah.
And I was a huge writer from the time I was super little. But one day I just combined them after I just been through a whole lot, and I had very horrible coping mechanisms, you know? So this was the healthiest one that I found. And then it just turned into such a passion for me.
Yeah.
It's I want to do this with my life.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's art in itself right there. You know, your journey with music and art, it's just, that's an art form,
Exactly.
That's cool.
Exactly.
So yeah, I definitely think that so for me, I would consider myself a practitioner of mindfulness because it's a practice. It's really a lifestyle practice,
right? Instead
of either being a lifestyle or just a practice, it's a lifestyle practice. And
explain to us what you mean by that.
So I would say I guess I will have to talk more a little bit more about mindfulness itself. What is being mindful? It's funny, the name, it's mindful, but it's really not.
Yeah,
it's mindless,
right? It's like emptying your mind,
right?
So they could be filled with the right thing.
It's really hyper awareness, right?
Exactly.
Just being aware of your surroundings to a point where it's you can, to be aware, I feel like you would have to see that there's a water bottle here, right? And you're aware that it's there. You see it, you can drink it, and you accept it and you let it go. You're not man, we need water, obviously, but you're not this change.
If I drink this water right now, I won't have any for later.
Yeah, you're identifying with the water itself. This is becoming a part of your identity.
You're attached to it.
Yeah. Yes. So I feel being mindful is being able to if you do have
detach.
You have more than one identity. You have more than one job. You have more than one art form you're interested in, but you're able to be just aware of it. And it's I am not these things.
Right.
Even within on a singularity level, I am not my hands and my hair or looks or clothes.
Right.
I'm not my thoughts.
So
I'm
then
not
what
my
are
emotions. You? That's the whole thing. I
don't know.
That's
the big question.
I don't know. I'm still discovering that.
Yeah.
But you hinder your growth and self-discovery by saying you do know who you are and by identifying. Because I feel
I could agree with that.
There are people.
If you stay stuck to a certain identity, that kind of is all you're going to be.
Exactly. So I guess there are people out there who can know who they are. They can know themselves.
Right.
But they can know themselves only from a limited perspective.
Exactly.
You can't, you're going to be that self for a long time, so that's pretty much if that answers your question, mindfulness is being just aware of oneself to the ability that you can, the best ability that you can.
Yeah.
And when I was saying it becomes a lifestyle for me, it's because I create music. So if I'm practicing mindfulness, what am I creating? Am I creating just anything? The
thing is, if you're practicing mindfulness, I feel like you're going to be producing a more meaningful product.
More mindful.
Exactly.
More aware.
Exactly.
So I have fun talking about, mindfulness, obviously. And the different correlations of different concepts that are correlated to mindfulness, right? So there's like the higher self and the lower self, or the shadow and the lights, or the ego and the, like polarities. Basically, that's a big concept in mindfulness. So like talking about, the beautiful, like polarities, like I'm using polarities, I'm playing with polarities, beautiful satisfaction, beautiful disappointment, but then also talking about going to the other side and talking about the shadow, like bias ego, you know what I mean? Like I'm talking about bias ego,
and I picked that apart. I was like, that's clever. When I saw like I was like, what does that mean? What is bias ego? And then I picked it apart. I was like, it's bias ego,
right? And it's almost like with like our egos might as well have a name. How much they govern in our lives, it's like the distortion. It's a veil between us and reality, the ego.
You're right, 100%.
We might as well give it a name, right? And some people do,
because it is almost like not almost. It is like a whole entity itself.
It is, definitely. So like we call that the persona or the phase of my life or something, but no, that is an actual force that is governing a lot and influencing a lot of decisions that you make.
Yeah.
So let's like tap into that. Let's like look at the ego in the mirror and be like, ego, what are you, bro? Like there's nowhere to run. Like who are you? You know what I mean?
Are those lyrics in the song?
Yes.
Okay.
I should know my own lyrics, but yeah, it was like a bridge where I'm like, ego, where are you gonna go? Like you can't go. I'm looking at you. I'm aware of you, right? Like I'm not identifying with you. I'm not saying anything about it. I'm not putting no names on it. I'm just looking at you for what you are and where are you gonna go.
Yeah.
So I feel like the biggest fear to ego is the annihilation.
100%.
Being no more.
Right.
Like us. Like that's what keeps us afraid of death itself, is the ego. So, if we die, or if we had an ego death and the moment of death approaches, God forbid, but like if it does, then it's just like, it's just another part of life.
Exactly.
Kind of deal. This is not like, oh my gosh, I don't want to, so I'm going to live a certain kind of way because I don't want to, like, we live a whole nother life.
Yeah. I can tell you since that moment, I've lived a whole different life. I'm I'm the same person, but I'm a different version of myself.
Right. Right. Almost a better version.
Yeah, I would say so.
Right?
Yes, I would say so.
Because it's growth.
Exactly.
Like you've grown from that experience, from that ego, or whatever. Like everybody goes through like a time in their life that is like tragic or like difficult, disappointments, and like a bunch of stuff. And like again, like not identifying that, like, and looking at it and just like you're growing. Like if you can grow from anything that you go through, good or bad, like I feel like
it's not a loss.
It's not a loss.
It's not. That's interesting because I've been having these conversations in my head lately. Like even like that specific line you just said about if like it's not really, it's growth either way.
Right.
If you go through something bad, if you come out better, then is it really bad?
Yeah. Right. Like you don't want like your own decisions or your own experiences to haunt you. Like, I mean, to haunt you, to affect you and make you feel things, and to, hopefully make you like influence a change. But for it to haunt you, that's something totally different.
Yeah.
That's yeah. I'm just gonna leave it at that. That's something totally different, to let anything haunt you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's just like, gotta let it go.
You're right. And I made that mistake of letting things haunt me. And it's like, what happened except I wasted my energy on something that's not there anymore. Yeah. And something that doesn't really matter that much anymore. Right. Like, yeah, it could have bruised you, but are you just gonna keep punching yourself in the wound, or are you gonna let it heal and kind of move forward,
And I feel like we've all to some degree like allowed because we're allowing it. We're allowing something or someone or some place to like haunt us. Like we've all done that in our lives, you know. So but that's a part that's acknowledgement is also a big thing for me. Like that's a big part of growth, like just being able to like to look at something, be aware of something again.
Exactly.
It's just,
awareness.
It's a common theme with so many different things, and it's just so hard to take one deep breath, like, you know. But like it insinuates growth, like just just acknowledging something and looking at something for what it is without no names or no nothing. It's just wow, you know, that's a step forward instead of step backwards.
Exactly.
So yeah. I don't even know how we got to
I feel like this happened the last time we talked.
Yeah.
We were meeting to talk about music and possible collaborations and all of that, and we went off into mindfulness and into past experiences and everything, but that led us here. So
yeah,
here we are.
Yeah, and that's beautiful.
It is. And you know what? These are conversations people need to hear anyway.
Yeah, I think just being aware of these things, like just being like, hey, like we have egos, hey, we have past, hey, we are not perfect beings, like but like what I was saying a little bit earlier too, like because like the thing, that's why I say practice mindfulness, because I'm not an expert. I'll never be an expert.
Right.
And there's different phases of my life where I'm like doing a lot of meditation and I'm mindful more often than not. But there's those points too that where I'm like struggling, like, whoa, to take a breath.
Yep. I feel like it comes and goes in phases, because I'm kind of the same way too. There are times where I'm like really good at just kind of practicing mindfulness. There's other times I let my anxiety get the best of me, and you know. So.
And there's like so many. I'm sorry.
No, it's okay. But yeah, that's why you make it a practice, because once you stop doing something for a long amount of time, like of course it's going to be out of balance a little. So
it becomes like almost like fruitless if you're not practicing anything. Like even if you are an expert, like even if you get up every day, work out in the morning, or you part of like the 5 a.m. club and you get up every single day to work out, if you change it from being a practice, I'm sure that affects your habits of like even just wanting to get up every morning and do it, because you're not doing this to learn anymore. You're doing it for whatever reason you're attaching to it, right? But it's not a reason of like practice. This is a practice, you know. It's not a craft anymore. You know, it's not an art form anymore. Working out, you know, so it's just like I like to like play with my own mind, because I'm like, how many different things like am I doing that? Like when I look at music, right? I love music. I'm passionate about music, but have I had these times where it's like not a practice anymore, and I'm just like, I'm gonna make this, I'm gonna create this, and it's gonna be good, you know? And it's not a practice though. It's not like I want to make this song and experiment in this way and try to mix this song a way that I haven't before and practice, you know, instead of you know what I mean?
No, I get it. Yeah.
So like, yeah, that with mindfulness, with something as big as mindfulness and as little as mindfulness, though, like, sorry, rambling, but as little as mindfulness, like a deep breath and like being aware of one single thing, can seem so extravagant if we're not looking at it as a practice, you know.
Exactly.
So yeah, I'm just like just saying stuff.
No, you're not. No, we get it. Okay, so do you have any questions for me?
What's those purple cards you got over there?
So this was a game. I'm touching.
Uh-oh. Purple
Love
cards. The color purple. It's my
It
favorite.
was called Let's Get Deep, and it was marketed as like questions for couples.
Oh, okay.
And that's like a huge box, but I went and picked out the ones that aren't like super awkward.
Okay, cool.
Questions you can ask to just, just have a
Podcast
conversation with anyone. Yeah. So I've never been good at shuffling, but one day I was working in assisted living and they wanted me to shuffle their cards because they had arthritis, and I picked them up and I just miraculously could shuffle.
Wow.
I couldn't shuffle, and then that day I just could shuffle. So
okay.
That's my little soliloquy, my little story. All right, so
say deep. That's really intimidating.
If you
There's like different shades of purple.
So if you pick it, do you have to ask it or do you have to ask it to me?
Your rules.
If you pick it, I ask it to you. If
Okay.
I pick it, okay, never mind. You just make up the rules because I don't feel like I'm making sense now.
Wait, you're saying if I pick up the card, you ask me?
Okay, hold up. Let's do this. Okay.
So if you can't see the it's different shades. So it's like,
but because one says deeper.
Yeah.
One just says deep.
Okay.
I'm not stop saying that now. This is making me uncomfortable.
Yeah, I'm not gonna grab the one. I'm going to grab this one.
Okay, go for it. So that's your question. I have to ask you maybe. Okay, yeah, that's how we'll do it. Yeah. Okay. What could you give a presentation on with no preparation?
Wow. So ironic. Mindfulness. I think I could definitely give a great presentation. I actually taught a mindfulness class for 10 weeks with a nonprofit organization called Rise that's
cool.
Fighting for higher education, student advocacy, student-led. Mm-hmm. Great program. So,
awesome. What age group was it?
It was mostly just college students.
Okay.
So student debt relief. We went to Washington D.C., sat outside the Capitol, and did a big stakeout for 12 hours. I want to say it was 12 hours in the rain. We're just playing music and just dedicated. Senators and people were coming out there to speak, and different local artists were out there performing. We slept outside the Supreme Court, and we went into the Supreme Court. We didn't present the student debt relief thing, but an attorney did, and we sat in that hearing. But that's getting kind of drawn out, but that I'm just talking about the organization now. But they allowed me to do a mindfulness presentation every week. It was
wow.
It was pretty cool.
That's very cool. Is that over now?
So it was just a what do you call seasonal? Mm-hmm. Basically it was seasonal, and they still are recruiting and doing stuff like that right now. But it's mostly during the time when students are in school.
Okay,
it's fighting for free college. So, yeah.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Interesting. So you got a little activist in you too.
A little bit.
All right. Is it my turn?
Yes.
Okay, let's see. We're gonna
just avoid the other
over. This.
Okay. Let's just see. What's an ability you'd like to have and why?
I want to be able to dance. I can't dance at all. And listen, I'm an artist.
Yeah.
So I feel like that would at least add to my what you talking about over here. But anyway, no, I need to be able to dance. But I just be watching people dance. I'm like, I wish I could do that. I'm just very uncoordinated. I got rhythm. Okay. I got some rhythm. Right. I just can't dance.
Okay.
But you know what? That's why they make choreographers. So
true. That's true.
I'm coming for y'all.
And they have dancers too. So
that's true too.
You can always have
hire people dancers to perform for me on stage. You're right.
Just do the little, how they be.
Do a little ditty bop.
Yeah, I don't know how they be doing it, but when they have dancers, it's the main act is never even really doing unless you're Beyonce.
Yeah, exactly.
Michael Jackson.
Now I can just I can concentrate on my breath work while they're over there.
Hey,
keeping the energy going in the crowd.
Okay.
We might be on to something, but I still want to dance. So
I'll dance.
So I want to be
I'll
cute
be a background dancer.
Okay. Do you know how to dance? You do dance.
You
told me.
A little bit. I got a little
tap,
history.
Ballroom.
Oh, okay.
I remember that much.
Out
little hip hop.
All right. All right. Yeah, that's true. Just a little bit.
Yeah. All right,
Okay.
go ahead, pick another one.
This one, you know what?
We're going deeper.
Okay. Oh, can I actually like not?
Let me see. Let me see it. I'll tell you if I'll give you a pass.
That's
we can. Yeah, we'll pass. That's cool. I didn't even know that one was in there. Next one. You afraid of? Let's see what this one is. That probably is.
I don't know if I should
just try it. We'll skip it if it's bad. We'll skip it.
Okay, I kind of.
All right. Not too bad. Yeah. Not a skipper. Okay.
I don't think that's a skipper, right?
Oh, no. That's kind of fun. If we switch lives for a day, what would be the first thing you would do?
If we switch lives?
Yes. If you and I switch lives for a day, what would be the first thing you do as me? First thing you do as Kendel Bell.
Well, I'm going to stay away from gender. And I'm going to stay away. Because I feel like that doesn't...
Ginger?
No, like gender.
Gender. I thought you said ginger.
No,
like ginger's good for you.
Yeah, ginger is amazing for you. Probably, yeah. You know, I would drink a cup of ginger tea.
As Kendel Bell?
Yes, that's the first thing that I would do.
You wouldn't do nothing fun?
I think tea drinking is fun.
Okay.
Right before you make a choice, you just drink a cup of tea and be like.
He took the easy way out. He said, I'm going to drink a cup of tea.
Now
I'm going to hop up out the bed, turn my swag on. That would be my question, my answer to that question.
Okay.
Do I have to pick one?
Yeah.
Even it out, right?
So I'm asking.
You're asking, wait. Yes, you're
confused.
Asking me that one.
Okay, I'm asking.
Because I asked you the last one.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
If offered the opportunity to colonize and live on a new planet, would you do it and why?
That's a weird question.
That's kind of extraordinary for a deep question.
Yes.
A deeper question.
Yes, but it depends on the planet. Do the planet already have all the natural resources, or do we have to bring the resources with us? Because if that's the case, then things are limited, and how are we going to thrive as a colony? If it was something that was already, like, I wouldn't mind establishing a new planet that was conducive to our existence. I think it'd be fun. And then, like, I'm gonna be honest, I don't really like governments here and the way things are in. Systems. So yeah, why not just go somewhere else and build fresh?
Yeah.
So that's my cool. Answer. Yeah.
I never thought about that though. Like just being mindful about like if it is like conducive, like if we can like merge our worlds together and like help each other.
Yeah.
You know, rather than completely just take over and, you know, destroy and start something fresh like that, you know.
Do you believe in aliens?
I don't know. I'm not going to say like, I know I think there's other life or something. Like, I don't know.
You don't know if you would call them aliens.
Yeah. It's just.
Do you think there's other intelligent life forms?
Yeah.
On other planets?
I don't know. I don't know.
It's a huge universe. Yeah. That's the thing. It's like, could it really be just us?
And that's
the people who is destroying their own world and their own people.
Right. That's
like, nah.
That's the one question. Like, it's so big. Like, we're just in the Milky Way galaxy. This is one galaxy, and there's millions and billions, trillions of galaxies that house their own like planets that are millions and millions of miles apart from each other, with their own suns. And it's just like, who's to say, and who are we to say that there is or isn't, like, you know?
Yeah, agreed.
But it's like a deep a deep void that you get pulled into, because it's just like we don't know, we really just don't know. And like, even if we were to conceptualize and think like, what would an alien look like? When you look up a picture of an alien, it kind of looks like us, because we can't like fathom another life form that doesn't.
But here's the thing. I believe that there's some that are like, I do believe in them, but I feel like there's some that are like humanoid, like are similar to us. Because if whatever created us to look like this, why wouldn't there be different like variations.
Right.
I don't know.
Yeah. You're right. And then you look at, there's other planets out there that I guess we can see. I think outside of our galaxy, but I seen something. It was like a planet that looked like Earth, basically. It was just a huge Earth, and I'm like, there has to be like something there,
exactly, like
some like version of us. I don't know.
Right? It's weird to think about. It's a lot to think about.
It's like making my mind go
crazy. Right.
I'm just like, what?
These are like stoner conversations right here. But should we do one more?
Sure.
All right, let's do one more. Oh wait, was it your turn?
I guess
it is your turn.
I'm gonna go deeper. I'm gonna go on the deep end.
He wants to go deeper. Let's I've been trying not to go off the deep end.
What do you miss? I'm supposed to say.
Oh,
sorry.
What do you miss most about childhood?
I think I was a huge Michael Jackson fan growing up. So like dressing up as Michael Jackson and dancing like competitions.
The one sparkly glove.
Yeah, the one sparkly glove. And I used to do this thing where I used to like perform like the Billie Jean song, and I used to like take off my shoes. Like that was my thing, to take off my shoes and like moonwalk and like just impersonate, you know, that whole era of like learning about Motown and enjoying Motown and different artists and having all the albums.
Yeah,
and that's just something that like I can never get that back.
Yeah,
you know,
those are like your first experiences with music. That's special.
So I'll be thinking now like how much it influences inadvertently and like, you know, directly, like the past experiences.
Yeah.
Very memories.
Cool. All right, I'm gonna pick one more.
Okay.
And then we're gonna call it a day.
Cool.
We're gonna wrap up. Oh wait, I was supposed to pick it, right? I don't like this one. I'm passing. I don't know.
Let's see. If you could have dinner with anyone in the world, living or dead, who would it be and why?
I hate these types of questions. And like, not to sound bad, but I just don't idolize anybody because I don't believe humans are to idolize. I think it would be somebody who can teach me how to get very rich. So
okay,
maybe somebody like Bill Gates. Nah, I don't like Bill Gates. I don't trust him.
Oh, Billy.
Billy Bob. Billy boy. I don't know. Just somebody who can teach me how to get rich, honestly.
Okay. Build wealth. I'm assuming, right?
Yeah.
Like build something.
Specifically a black person who did it. Because let's be honest, the game is different for us.
Yeah, it is.
So yes, there are rules across the board, but there are like certain things that I would probably have to do to stand out as special as well. So I need somebody who can teach me how to do that.
Yeah.
You know any black billionaires off the top?
Well,
besides
just open up like, my iPhone X.
Besides like Diddy and Jay-Z.
My outdated phone says that I know no billionaires. I don't.
Well, we don't know billionaires.
She said, if you don't know, now you know. So
if you don't know, now you know. That's what I'm going to have dinner with. I'm going to have dinner with Biggie.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Nice.
All right. Well, that's it for this episode of KB's KommUNITY. Thank you so much for coming, Rashid. It's been fun. It's been cool talking about mindfulness and music and life. So
yeah. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. Come back soon. All right.
Pretty little shorty coming out of the suburbs. Don't think it's sweet, boo, you can still get murked. My name all in your mouth, bet it tastes like dessert. Mad I got the juice and you dry like the desert. Why you mad, eh? Cause I'm in my bag, eh? Worry about me, worry about you showing price tags. See me glowing up and all these haters wanna be mad. Stuck in the same spot while I'm getting jet lag. Catch me out of state, making a moves becoming great. Ain't solid now, but when you eatin', everybody wanna plate. Wanna see it at the table, wanna act like they grateful. Don't mess with outsiders, y'all looking real unstable.